Welcome to the On the Air podcast, a companion to On the Air magazine, a bi-monthly magazine from ARRL for beginner to intermediate ham radio licensees. Every month, the On the Air podcast presents information to help you access and enjoy the ham radio hobby and service. The On the Air podcast is sponsored by ICOM for the love of ham radio. Welcome to the June 2024 episode. So it is June, and here in the ham radio community, we all know what June means. It's the month of ARRL Field Day. It is coming up soon, the weekend of June 22nd and 23rd. And with me today, I have ARRL Radiosport and Regulatory Information Manager, Bart Jahnke, W9JJ. Hiya, Bart.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And I also have ARRL Contest Program Manager, Paul Bourque, N1SFE. Hiya, Paul.
Hi, Becky. Thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for coming. So you guys have all the information about Field Day. You're our go-to sources for this. So here we are. It's coming up at this point next weekend. So at what stage should people be at with their plans? What are you hearing out there from the community?
Well, you should have your, you should definitely have your site secured. I mean, that should have been done months ago. But a lot of people in the community are discussing getting their antennas ready, their lists of equipment, making sure they got all the batteries, and everyone's bringing who's bringing the radios, and so you're kind of on that phase of the planning right now.
They're also trying to figure out who's still coming. One of the challenges many groups and clubs sometimes face is the volunteers that you've lined up months in advance of the event may not be available, or you may have new people who are available who may not be well informed at this point. So there needs to be a lot of public outreach on the club or group level to ensure that the volunteers, the bodies who are going to help for operating the event, setup, takedown, and even site coordination have been in touch with the individual or group or just whoever's in the owner of the property. Oftentimes it's a public location that they're expecting you and ready for you to roll in. Yeah,
public locations, because Field Day is often regarded as ham radio's open house, where we set up in public and we're ready to present what we do to maybe non-hams who might be walking by.
Exactly. And in that regard, we even have a bonus to even further promote that this year.
Oh, that's new this year?
It is.
So what exactly is the bonus? Is it for public outreach? What's the, does it have a name?
So we've had publicity category bonuses of the past. Mm-hmm. We've embellished and created a new bonus that's all encompassing, particularly focusing on groups that aren't in the field. They may be mobile groups, they might be part of EOC groups, they may be home station groups that now, as a part of what they do, we're encouraging them to do more public awareness, public promotion. That together with one of the existing bonuses, where we want them not only to invite the public, but actually wear name tags, wear badges, create stick-on names and labels. If you have a member of a served agency come and visit, and if it's not clear who they are, make out a little sticker, a name tag, and introduce yourself to these people at the various levels as they arrive. Be friendly, be outgoing. Sometimes these individuals will arrive and they'll feel like it's kind of they're on their own, and we want them almost to be led throughout, introduced to the different phases.
And part of being engaging in a public location is to actually engage the public. So, you want to welcome in members of the public that may not even be amateur radio operators.
Sure.
Well, it's as you said, it's field day is ARRL's open house, amateur radio's open house. Be welcoming. Have somebody out there to welcome in new people instead of showing up and seeing a bunch of people just working radios and with their backs to you.
Have a dedicated person for outreach or dedicated people.
So is that what will get somebody the bonus points, is having
Yes.
a specific person for
Yes,
outreach?
exactly.
Okay. So even somebody who's doing field day from a home station can do this? What might that
Potentially, yes.
involve? Sort of setting up in their driveway or on their sidewalk or something?
It can be, and also there will be people who do have home activities who decide, you know what, I'm going to use my home antennas, but I'm going to set up a tent out in front of my home or in an area that's common to the access to the neighbors. Something where if you actually publicize that you're going to be doing field day and somebody drives by, they can see that you're actually out there, and they'll be motivated to find out more what it's about.
Great.
Absolutely. So, in addition, we want to talk about the GOTA activity again. This is something that we've promoted in the past. Last year we made changes.
So the Get on the Air station, you can be licensed, but maybe not having been on the air for a long time, or you don't even have to be licensed to use the Get on the Air station.
Right, and with the unlicensed operators and operators who might have a technician class license, a big important thing to remember is there needs to be a licensed control operator present and monitoring the activities of the GOTA station at all times. So you can't just let an unlicensed operator get on the air without having anybody supervising them, because that would actually be against the FCC regulations. So you need to make sure a control operator is always present for any GOTA operation.
This may be a place also if you've got some served agency visitors and they want to get a better feel for what is amateur radio, how does the communication work, what are we exchanging in the information, what do the bands sound like. It's an opportunity to invite them to sit down and either listen or actually participate, get on the microphone and see what it's all about.
That's great. So you could use your GOTA station as a way to do outreach and build that relationship with a served agency.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And especially youth. So often they'll come possibly with parents or guardians or friends, and they'll see it happening, but unless you engage them, they can't fully appreciate it.
Yeah.
Invite them to sit down.
So the GOTA station also is good for some bonus points, right? Do you get
Exactly.
bonus points just for having one, and then there are points associated with the contacts from the GOTA station?
Well, there are, so GOTA station contacts actually have 5 bonus points.
Oh, okay.
So every contact is worth 5 bonus points, and it's important to make a distinction between bonus points and the actual points for the contacts. A GOTA station contact also counts as points towards your field day operation, but they are also worth 5 bonus points. So there's 2 separate points that you can.
And there's no limit.
Oh, cool.
So used to be it was you reach so many points and then the bonus stops. That's been removed. Now it's all about 5 points per contact, no limit. Let's not discourage people from reaching a plateau and say, oh, you got to change, somebody else's turn, and then there's nobody else to sit down.
And in the June 2024 issue of QST, you've got a copy right here. In that issue, there is a special field day section, and one of the tools that we've placed in that section is a field day bonus points calculator. And it's got most, if not all, of the things that you can earn bonus points for, and it explains the scoring of all those things. And one of the things in that list is the bonus points for GOTA station contacts.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can folks can refer to that during their operation and make sure they keep on top of their points.
The field day section of QST has been very popular the last several years that we ran that. So it's
Absolutely.
a good resource to give you a quick overview of what's going on for Field Day. And there's also a lot of interesting articles in there about different aspects of Field Day.
So Field Day's getting really close now. And I know we're hoping that folks have their setups well underway in terms of planning. Maybe somebody who's newer or maybe is behind on their planning, maybe they want to drive around, maybe piggyback onto somebody else's setup. If you don't have your own setup and you're interested in seeing what someone else is doing, how can you find out where there might be a setup near you?
Well, the ARRL Field Day website has a Field Day locator, and it's actually a map where you can search for a Field Day location near you. And it gives pertinent information about the Field Day location, contact information in case you want to reach out to somebody, and even the if you're a licensed ham, the talk-in frequency, so you can get on the radio, maybe have somebody guide you into the location if you're lost or something.
And doesn't the locator also state whether a setup has a GOTA station?
Yes, there is. Yeah. There's a checkbox when you submit your entry on the Field Day locator. Will let people know that you have a GOTA station.
Mm-hmm. So if you're using the locator, do you put in a zip code, a state? How do you use the locator?
Typically, they do it by a street address.
Oh, okay.
So it will have the zip code information too. So when you're using the locator, when you're searching for a site, if you type in your zip code, like if we're in Newington, we type in 06111, and they'll bring up a map of locations, probably within a 50 or so miles.
Okay. What's the protocol for visiting someone else's Field Day setup? Is it better to try and give them a heads up? Is it ever safe to just kind of walk up and say hi?
It varies. Yeah. It really does. Some people who are looking to visit a Field Day site know that a particular club has, in the past, had a Field Day activity, so they'll use the locator to find it, and then they'll drive there and show up. Mm-hmm. Others who are less informed about Field Day and amateur radio will use the locator to get more information about the site. It may not necessarily have the street address, but it'll have a pin on a map because it might show just latitude and longitude. Mm-hmm. So based on that, they'll show up. Or oftentimes they'll simply call the contact information or email the group and say, hey, I'm planning to come. I'm going to bring some kids with me. Is there anything I need to be concerned with? How many people are you planning to have there? Mm-hmm. Anything I can bring? This might be another amateur radio operator from that club or a different club who maybe hasn't been involved in their activity for a while. So there's a good amount of contact information generally available through the Field Day locator links and also the mapping.
Okay. So there is contact information.
Absolutely.
So there is a possibility of reaching out, letting a group know that you're coming, and like any good guest, ask if there's anything that you can bring.
Even a radio talk-in frequency. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So I noticed that the two of you have on your ARRL Field Day 2024 shirts. It's part of our collection of Field Day swag this year. Very cool.
We do.
Grassy green color. And there's a neat little feature of these shirts that is almost kind of a tool here.
It is.
In the Field Day. In the Field Day insert in the June issue, we've got an ARRL and RAC section checklist that you can keep at your Field Day operating position. So as you work all those sections, you can check them off on the checklist. Or
if you forget it,
if you forget, right here you go.
There's that whole checklist, all the sections.
We've heard that some young groups have decided to use markers and to encourage further pursuit of getting all of the sections or as many as they can. They'll take a marker and they'll check them off on each other's shirts.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Just as a reminder of how successful they've been.
Yeah, it's sort of full contact contacts.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks for being here today. I know there is a ton of Field Day information on the ARRL.org website. We have the complete rules up at ARRL.org/field-day-rules. And if you just do a general search on Field Day, you will find other tools like the Field Day Locator. Lots of good resources if you're gearing up for your Field Day operation. So thanks again, Bart and Paul.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to hearing everybody on the air on Field Day.
All right, so have a great time, be safe, and you'll see the On the Air podcast back again in July '73.